In 3, 2, 1. Every family wants the best for their family. If the family itself feels that they belong to a sufficient family, then it's possible that the money they have is enough to be used to pay for the maximum education of one child, especially for the most gifted children. The economic condition of the working class is defined as the economic condition of the working family, which can be said to be sufficient. The family certainly wants economic progress in the family. One of the main elements to achieve this goal is the education. In a family that has an economy like that, it could be said that they will consider the cost of education, especially in this family. More than one child still needs school, because remembering the main aim of education is to form children or young people who can work according to their abilities so that they achieve wage commensurate with their efforts. What is certain is that the main goal is to improve life for the better. However, of course, every child has different abilities, interests, and talents from one another, but it does not rule out the possibility that there are also children who are able to master many things, could be said to be the most talented children. The most talented child can be seen from how many achievements he has, how active the child is in his academic and non-academic life, and the child's ability to solve problems. This is consideration for the family. Now let's talk about the problem in study school. In current condition, in fact, many families prioritize or maximize the education pursued by the most talented children, considering that the family economy is only considered sufficient, really convinces this family to think about how to minimize failure. It could be said that the family does not want to suffer losses, or the family from the working economic class really want to improve their economic condition as quickly as possible. So it's not wrong if they really maximize their education by only focusing on one child, namely the most talented child in the family. Now, let's talk about the mechanism. Families must maximize educational costs for the most talented child by setting aside costs for other children to be used for the most talented child educational costs. Our stand is we as the proposition absolutely agree that the parents of working class families would allocate most of their money to support the most talented child in the family, because this decision makes it possible to improve the family economic condition as quickly as possible and to increase the status of the family. This decision has the most important goal is improving the standard or living of a family in this way. In this way, the level of family welfare increases. This can be used as the first step to form a better next generation. If the opposition said this decision is ineffective because it will give the impression of cheating or sound like discrimination between the most talented children and children who are only talented in few areas, in this case, it does not mean that the family does not pay for the education of other children. This means that the family continues to pay for or continues to strive for a good education for their children, but rather maximize education for the most talented children, because it cannot be denied that the aim of families is sending their children to school is the hope that their children will improve the family's life rather than spending everything to the maximum but other costs being in short supply. This actually hinders children's learning activities. So what should the debate about? This debate about the family's decision to only maximize the education of the most talented children. This debate discusses how to achieve a better standard of living. What should the debate not be about? This debate is not talking about injustice, or is it talking about discrimination between the most talented children and those who are quite talented? Now let's talk my argument. So now here's my principal argument is every child actually becomes an actor in changing or improving the family economy. So what about the practical? Why is the decision important? Because everyone must have the principle, oh, I have to be better than today. I have to be better than my parents. So I also have to improve the family economic conditions. And it all starts with the parents. Parents must be aware of their obligation to provide a decent life for their children to the best of their ability. By maximizing costs for the most talented children, the family has made the best decision. The result of his decision not only have an impact on the gifted child himself, but also an impact on his parents, other siblings, and in general have a huge impact on his family. My second argument is, what is the impact of this decision? As I said earlier, the impact is not only on the most talented child himself, but also extends to his family. Because if the child is funded optimally, it is very possible that the result of education can improve the status of the family, improve the family's economy, so that it is possible for their sibling to get the maximum education as well. The problem is the jealousy for the other children. However, is this decision, this problem can certainly be overcome, because after all, the result of maximizing the cause of the most talented child also have an impact on the education the other siblings. It can be said the problem of discrimination here is not too complex, and the best solution can be determined is that the family continues to support children who have sufficient talent. My argument is supported by the fact that the most talented child in the family is the child who first improves or increase the family's standard of living. The conclusion of my speech is maximizing education costs for the most talented children is the right decision. In this way, family prosperity can be achieved. This decision is very good. As a proposition, we support families with the economic condition of workers to only maximize education for talented children. It's better than having to force to maximize all children's education, because the most talented children are very likely to be ahead or better in improving the economic condition in their family life. Proud to be proposition.